Hello, hello. Okay. Um, this is rare, but I'm hoping somebody actually watches this. It is hot and muggy, even though it's, excuse me, 12:13 at night, past midnight. So I'm hoping somebody watches this, anybody, and I'm going to ask everybody that watches this, if anybody watches this, comment. Just leave some kind of comment. Constructive criticism, please. What you think about? Man, I got itchies all over me because of the mugginess. But I gotta like think out loud to kind of try and lay it out about this like pet project thing, because I've been thinking about it for a while, and I can't really get it down, even though I've been thinking about it for a while, and so I'm just gonna talk it out and see what happens. And I need strangers to bounce ideas off of, because I don't want people I know to know about it. Anyways, so my idea is for okay, I'm gonna say words, even though a lot of the words won't actually mean, a lot of the words won't be the right words. I think you might understand. It won't make, that doesn't make sense yet, but you might understand later on. Anyways, when I start a business, but it's not really a business, and it's not a nonprofit, and it's not a not-for-profit, and it's not an NGO, and I don't really know what it is going to be, but I think I'm going to have to classify it as a business for legal purposes, just because it probably is going to. Well, I'm hoping that it will turn a profit, just so, at some point, just so I can keep having more people there and doing more stuff with it. But profit is by no means the goal for this pet project thing. The goal for this thing is essentially just to employ people and help the town, and help rebuild the town. And it's kind of a weird thing it's a weird response to the times that we're in. It's kind of like, okay, Trump fucked up things, So I'm going to make a company that's going to replace the government because Trump and the Republicans fucked up the government. So I'm going to make a business that's going to replace the government and do everything privately that's going to replace the government and the governmental functions. Yeah. And supplement it. And hopefully spark and kind of push everybody into realizing, and I know this kind of sounds like I'm sparking a revolution, sort of am, but sort of am not, but hopefully push everybody into realizing that the Republicans are shitholes. And I know that kind of, again, sounds like I'm trying to fan the flames of a revolution, but it's not exactly what I'm intending on doing. It's just mainly like, I just want to employ people, give them an income and something to do and a way to occupy their time that is some kind of productive, and make stuff and do something that, like I said, do something that is productive while paying them a good wage. I think in Texas, the minimum wage is still the federal minimum wage, which is $7.25, which is shit. So pay them a good wage, which whatever that would be, I don't know. The wage would be dependent on how big of a grant I would get or business loan. I really want to get a grant, but I don't know. That's just more research I do. It just looks like no. So yeah, do something productive. I don't know what. It depends on who joins in the effort. Because whoever I just want to hire. I just want to hire pretty much anyone. Just you don't have a job, good, you're hired. And just kind of just take in pretty much anyone and be like, just keep on taking people in, and then we'll just be like, all right, just aggregate people more and more and more, and then more and more and more, and then, I'm sure at some point we get people that have some kinds of skills, and with any kind of, with starting a business or something, especially if I get a small business loan, we can get some computers. We can get some supplies and stuff. So, we can do things like watch YouTube videos or and make builds for stuff, or we can kind of do whatever. There's a lot of options to work with this. I already have a few paths kind of planned out, depending on what restrictions might be imposed based on certain things, certain legal restrictions with um, like the LLC guidelines and stuff. I don't know. But you just have to see more about that. I'd have to learn more about that. I don't know. Because I asked some questions about getting a business under sole ownership and then getting business insurance from an insurance provider, and they wouldn't even, like, you had to tell them what business it was, and they wouldn't like give me a list of businesses at State Farm. I had to tell them what business it was, and they were like, well, our list of businesses that we insure is proprietary and stuff. When I tried to kind of pretty much explain what it was, they were looking at me like I was cuckoo. And so, yeah. So something like this, I'm guessing is kind of never done before, because it seems whatever. And yeah, the analogy for this is kind of something like Leonardo's workshop, only there would be more than one person there. There would be a whole crew of people. It's like Leonardo's workshop meets Mythbusters meets a small college, not a university, but a small college meets like I don't know, a steampunk workshop, something like that. I don't know. So yeah, meets a junkyard, because we'll probably be grabbing junk to work with too. Stuff that contractors are going to throw away and be like, you're done with that? You're going to throw it away? Good, we'll take it. We'll do something with that. If you're just going to throw it away, we'll take it. They'll be like, we'll sell it to you. And be like, no, we're not going to buy it. If you're going to throw it away, we will take it. You're not understanding me correct. If you're going to throw it away, we'll take it. Otherwise, we won't take it, you fuckhead. So, yeah. And like I said, if that's something that people won't, that, banks won't give out loans for, and, the state won't do, and, regulators won't regulate and all that stuff, then they'll have to start it from a different route and then go another way, which is totally fine. I already have that planned for in another way. We can go another route, but which is a little more restricted, but we'll still be fine. But that's the kind of goal to just provide an income for people that otherwise would not have one, and help out the local economy in this small town a little bit by giving people a job who either would not be able to get a job at all or would only be able to get a minimum wage job or a near minimum wage job, and being able to give them a better than minimum wage job. See if we can do something about that, and then hopefully it'll turn into something a little more, and end up being able to do more interesting things with it after it gets off of the kind of ground stage. I don't know if I've made any sense with this or not. Because like I said, it's not really a business. It's not really an anything. It doesn't fit nicely into any of those boxes that I listed off before. It's kind of a little bit inside of each one of those and not in any of them at the same time. Okay. So, yeah. It's the weekend, so I'm not going to be able to do anything more investigative wise until Monday. And it's a small town and I don't have a car, so I'll be trying to do things by phone, pretty much. So, okay. Again, if anybody does watch this, I'd appreciate feedback, and it would be really nice if there was some kind of constructive feedback. Oops.